So welcome back to the channel, guys. Now in this episode we're going to be fitting an RPM gauge to the Volkswagen camper. This will allow us to keep an eye on the RPMs that we're creating with the engine, so to make sure that we don't go too far, or simply to keep an eye on what we are using and what we are doing. It should be a simple install. It comes with a switch on the back regarding what cylinders we're using. So obviously on the flat 4 we've only got 4 cylinders. Now this gauge has also got settings for a 6-cylinder and an 8-cylinder, something a bit unusual for me. So we're going to be showing you and taking you through that. Now unfortunately I didn't buy this new, but I was assured that it did work. So until we start the engine up, I'm now going to be sure. As you can see, it's been pre-wired to someone else's vehicle, and we may have to redo some of the wiring anyway. Now the first thing we need to do is look at the mount that we are going to have to make to fit it. If I could have bought one at 52mm, then I could buy a readily available gauge mount. Unfortunately it's 65, so we've got to make the mount, and obviously we've got to make the mount so it'll fit in the van. Now my intention is to fit this on the parcel shelf, between the parcel shelf and the bottom of the dashboard. So it's a tight fit. I've been and put this into that area, so I know it will actually fit, but it's making the mount to fit into the hole or the gap space that's available for it. So let's take a look at the process of making that mount. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a bit of card, and I've drawn out roughly where I want things to be. I'm looking that I've got a 64mm hole saw, which I'm going to be using to cut the hole out for the gauge. It's going to be slightly undersized, so a little bit of filing will be needed when we come to make it in steel. So I've left quite a lot of over here because I'm not sure how wide the bracket needs to be to fasten it or to locate it under the dash. So now we've got our template made, it's just a case of cutting it out to size. So what I've done with the cardboard is I've cut through the first layer of cardboard there to give it a bit of a hinge or an edge, so we know that when we come to put that up, it will fit up in that area. So the difficult bit now is cutting out the centre without making a mess. So we started to get our little ring at the back. I've gone through in certain areas but not in others. So I'll just continue going around there a little bit more. I think the top line is just being patient. I want this to be right, so it's going to be right in the steel. There we go. So now we've got our first bit. We've got a fold there, and then see the starting of the mount. So I'm quite lucky in that I've got a bit of steel. It's already got a bending. So what I've done is I've just profiled that onto there. That's my size. And what we're looking at is the bracket will be about 9cm by 8cm, and then obviously we've got the overhang. So if I cut that out and then get the hole saw, so I'm going to be using that one, should be able to take that one out. In fact I might do the hole saw first, cut the hole and then cut the template. So I've now cut that out in the steel. I've also taken out some of the bottom, so we've now got a nice little curve there. Needs finishing off, so we're going to grind off this, make it all nice, and then probably take the paint off at the top, and then we'll go and try this in the van and then start moving on to the gauge. So that's the gauge mount fabricated and the gauge set in there. Just got a couple of brackets to make at the back to hold this firmly in position, but that's what it's starting to look like at the moment. So obviously we're going to be painting this. I'm going to paint it the same white as we've got on the van itself, so it's a off-white. I think it's Old English white on the van, and we're going to be painting this gauge to match that. Not sure at the moment whether to keep this as a silver or whether to actually paint this as well, but we'll see how we go. So now we've got our markings from the van for the holes that are already there. I'm going to transfer these onto the plate, and then we can make the holes in this part, make sure this fits in the van, and then we can do a bit of painting. So we'll just transfer these over. Should be nice and simple. Everything should fit. Famous last words. So we know we've got 3 holes that we can use. So nice and easy with the marker just to drop them in. So we've now got 3 little marks there. We'll drill them out. I think we're going to be using something like an M8, and we'll use that as a mounting. So we'll just So we've drilled out our 3 holes. I'm just going to nip out to the van, just going to make sure that these actually line up with the holes that we've got, and if not, we'll be making these a little bit larger. So shit happens, as they say. So what I found is that the holes don't line up correctly with the van, only a slight amount. So what I'm going to do is rather than re-drill, I'm going to enlarge the holes to give him more clearance and a little bit of adjustment for the bolts that are going to go in. So we'll take a look at that, and then we'll move back and try again. So we should now have sufficient clearance to make these fit. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of bolts out, make sure that these actually go in the holes that are in the van, and then we'll see how we can mount this up. So one thing I am going to do is I'm going to weld in the mounting studs into the plate, as I found that if I do this, I can simply drop the parcel shelf off, put the plate up into place with the gauge in the correct position, and then put a nut on the top. This is going to make my job a lot easier when it comes to mounting it. So what I've done, as you can see from there, I've put a bolt through with a nut on the back, and I'm just going to tack weld on this section here. So just a little bit of spark. So now we've got to this stage, we're ready now for a bit of primer. So I've just been down to my local Halfords, got some X primer. Needs a little bit more shaking up, that one. So what we'll do now is we'll leave that to dry for a few hours. Just pop it up there. We'll let that dry for a few hours and we'll come back to it before we decide to paint it. So we've managed to get everything painted up using the same sort of paint that we've got on the van. So today it's going to be just assembling this and doing the installation. So first thing we'll do is put the gauge in the mount. I'm trying to centralise it up so it's actually in the right direction. There we go. So that looks like it's in the right place. And then we've got the support brackets on the back to put on. Again, what I've done is I've painted these again. And one thing it will do, hopefully, is it'll avoid these rusting as well. So I'll put that. So that's what it's looking like now. Obviously I've got the bolts welded at the top. Got myself a couple of nuts to fit on the bolts. And I'll probably look now for a couple of washers just so that they're actually squashing on the washers rather than on the nuts, and then we'll go and fit it up. The wiring itself, like I said earlier, it's quite easy to do. It's just identifying what wire is going to which point. Some of these will be requiring cutting down, maybe one will require extending, because we do have to run one from the gauge all the way back to the engine. So that means climbing under the van, unfortunately, and putting that single wire in all the way from the gauge right back down to the coil. Right, let's take a look at some of the wiring. So we've got a selection of wires. I think the red will be a live feed, normally is. We've got a black that usually is an earth, and then we have 3 greens. Now if we take a look at the other end of the gauge here, we've got 1 green. This is a single solid green that goes to the lights. So we'll take that one off as well. So that's going to be fitted to our light switch output. We've got a green with a, I can describe as a red stripe, and that's got a tag on it, and that is normally associated with the earth for the light or for the unit. So we've got that left. So the only one we've got left at the moment is a green with a white stripe. Now this normally goes to your distributor or to your coil. I think it might go to coil actually, but this is the thing that sends a signal to the gauge to tell you about the RPM. So every time that coil is operated, a pulse will come down here, which will operate, hopefully, the rev counter. So the first one we're going to wire up is the light for the actual gauge itself, and luckily enough we have a spare one there. So what we're going to simply do is connect that to that. There we go. So that's our first wire off there. So if I put the lights on, which is on the dashboard, yep, we get the light illuminating when we got the other gauges on. So we've got a power one here. This is going to power up, so this needs to be a switch live off the system. So now it's a case of looking at what we're going to be fitting this onto, so that when we turn the ignition off, the gauge goes off as well. So the second wire we've got is a black one. We've been lucky enough to find an earth point, although it does seem a little bit difficult to get to. There we go. So that will enable us to get earth onto the gauge as well. And there's also another section there, so we've also got the possibility of putting another earth on there off another gauge. So I spent the last 45 minutes going under the van to locate a wire that will go onto the negative side of the coil, and this should pick up the signal for the gauge. So this wire is the one that's going to run from the coil. It's going to run all the way down under the van to the coil. I'm now going to connect that up to the coil wire there. So we'll connect that one up. So I've connected that up to the coil wire now. So that's going to be picking up that signal. So now we've connected everything up, let's give it a go. So we get a little flicker from the rev counter there. So we've also got a couple of warning lights at the top. That's for the oil light, that's for the generator light. And the reason why I've put them there is, as you can see from the curvature of the wood rim, I can no longer see the gauge lights that are located at the bottom. On splitting the indicator switch, which is up there, probably just about to see that flashing. There we go. So we've got everything nicely working. We've got a parcel shelf back in, just a bit of trim to fit and to put in the washer bottle. So now that's the complete dash back in with the additional gauges and everything working. So the one reason why we got the small gauge in, it does tell you everything that you need to know about the RPM. I didn't want anything in your face like this one. And it does exactly the same. If it's important, if you're running in or you're trying to limit yourself to how many RPM you're creating in the engine, then obviously it is an important fixture. So if you do like this one, if you'd just give us that thumbs up, we'd appreciate that. And if you want to subscribe, then obviously it's just a click on that button. Right, so that's about wraps it up for that one. So we'll move on to our next project. I'll let you know when it's coming up. Bye for now.